Hi, this is Katelyn, and I'll be going through the 4th grade worksheets for lesson 42, which is the last lesson. The first worksheet you should have gone says extra practice. Now, the directions say, choose the most reasonable unit of measure, write inches, feet, yards, or miles. So inches, feet, yards, and miles are in order from smallest to largest. So number 1 says the length of my foot is about 8. So your foot isn't very big. I'd say that you write it in inches. Number 2 says the height of my dog is about 3. Well, 3 inches doesn't make sense because that's about a length of a finger. 3 yards is way too large, and anything like miles is too large either, so I see 3 feet. Number 3 says the width of my room is 4. 4 feet would be a very, very small room. 4 miles would be a very, very large room, so I think right in between would be yards. So, let's do these 3. It says, name the greater measurement, 15 feet or 15 yards. Well, we know that yards, 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. Is equal, right? So that means 15 yards is greater than 15 feet. So I guess we can just circle it. Now 30 miles or 30 feet. Well, this number is the same, but we know that 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So 30 miles is a very, very large number, while 30 feet is not even 1 mile. So this will be the greater measurement. And number 6 says 39 inches or 39 yards. Now, 1 yard is 36 inches. So this 39 inches here is barely 1 yard. This is 39 yards, so this is bigger. Next, we have, this was part of this bottom part. So it says order the measurements from least to greatest. And then when we go here, these are the measurements. Let's just do one of them. So 7 1/2 inch, 7 5/8 inch, and 7 1/4 inch. Now, they're all in inches, so we don't need to do any converting. So we just have to compare the number of inches. Now, they're all 7, which means what we compare is how big these are. So let's all get them to the same denominator here. Out of 8. So 1 out of 2 is equal to 4 out of 8. 5 out of 8 you keep the same, and the last one becomes 2 out of 8. So what we're really looking at is this here. So which one is, as the directions say, the least? The least is obviously 2, because they're all out of 8, and that corresponds to this one. So 7 1/4, and then 4 5. 4 is smaller, which is this one. So 7 1/2, and the last one is 7 5/8. So do the same thing for these 2 questions, and then we go on to complete. Tell whether you multiply or divide. So 60 inches equals how many feet? So you're going from a smaller measure to a larger measure, which means you divide. Now, what do you divide by? You say 60 inches and to how many feet? Well, in 1 foot there are 12 inches, so you divide 60 by 12, which gives us 5. Now, 14 says miles to yards. Miles is larger than yards, so you multiply. And what do you multiply by? Well, in 1 mile there are, let me do the calculations really quick. that's not right. There are 1,760 yards, so you multiply 1,760 by 3, and you get 5,280. Alright, last part says write less than, greater than, or equal to for each measurement. So 7 feet or 80 inches. Well, we have to get them to the same units that we can actually compare. Now, there are 12 inches in each foot. So 12 times 7 gives us 84. So is 84 greater than or less than 80? It is greater than. This is all pretty much the same. All you have to do is get them to the same units. So this one, 36 inches or 1 yard. We know that 1 yard is 12. 1 yard is 36 inches, really, so it's the same. The second one, 144 inches or 3 yards. 3 yards is each one is 36. Then 144 is greater than. This bottom says review/test. Choose the best term from the box. Now, so number 1 says the something of a container is the amount it can hold when it is filled. So you look at these. The linear, or the yard, or the mile of a container doesn't make any sense. If you look at these, it says the capacity of a container, the ounce of a container, the cup of a container, pound, foot, ton. So where are we? We're here. This one would be capacity. So 2 units used to measure length, width, height, and distance are, let's see, linear, yard, mile. Yeah, none of these make sense except for linear. Customary units for weight are and Well, you know, pounds, ounces, and tons. And this part says, choose the most reasonable unit of measure. Write inches, feet, yard, or miles. The height of a desk is about 3 feet. Inches are way too small. Yards are way too tall. 5. The length of a bus route is about 10 miles. Because a bus goes very far, it does not go a couple of yards. Okay, 6. The width of a door is about 36 inches. 36 feet or yards would be very large. So it says name the greater measurement. We're looking at this here. So 30 yards or 30 feet. We already know that yards are 3 feet, so that's obviously bigger. So yards. 3 cups or 3 pints. Well, in 1 pint there are 2 cups. So 3 pints is 6 cups, and there's only 3 here, so pints. 9 is 4 tons or 4 pounds. Well, 1 ton is like 2,000 pounds, so obviously tons. And 64 ounces or 3 pounds. How many ounces are in a pound? There's 16 ounces in a pound, so obviously, actually you have to do some calculations on this. So 16, 3, 8, 4, this ounces. Okay, and that's all.